I was naive to it going out there, because when you got there, then you realise how strong it was, how wrong it all was. The most obvious time I became aware of this is when we'd go into a stadium, there'd be a corner of the stadium where there'd just be some blacks, and they'd be supporting the Lions against the provincial sides that we were playing against. And then we knew that there was something obviously wrong here, that why they supported us, because they wanted us to beat their white masters.
In '68, I was worried about the whole business of touring South Africa, but to be honest, I wanted to be a Lion so much I let myself be persuaded. The sort of rugby prevailing logic was, no, you're not helping to sustain apartheid, you're building bridges. And to be honest, as soon as I got there, I realised it was complete nonsense. There was no question. Apartheid was more obvious and far worse than I had ever expected it to be.
John Taylor had a very strong view, and I remember him saying to me, "Gar, I'm not going to go, that's my view." But he never once tried to influence any of his Welsh teammates. That was his decision.
In those days, I was living in London and shared a flat with John Taylor, who had been to South Africa in 1968, and he was quite vociferous about his views on apartheid, and we had many arguments over this, but I got away with saying, I'm just going there to play rugby, and you being there, give me a chance to go there and make my own opinions up.
I did have some personal issues, yes, because obviously I was certainly appalled at the system they ran, but I also felt that, perhaps naively, that sport and politics should be kept separate. We did actually play against a couple of black teams out there. We built some great friendships, and I think perhaps we in some ways, helped to break down barriers rather than create them. So I've no regrets in that front.
We played against two black sides out there, and those boys are really pleased to play a game against the whites, if you like, and have a meal together in the same room after, which I thought to myself was a great thing for them and for us.
I was a rugby junkie. I just wanted to go and play against the best players in the world, in the best environment, with the best team, yeah, maybe now on reflection you can appreciate that maybe it was not all as it was supposed to be.
I went back a few years ago and I was talking to a few of the officials of Transvaal Rugby Club. All of a sudden this guy started becoming very tearful, and I said, "What's your problem?" He said, "When I see you again, it reminds me of all the bad times that we experienced when we were supporting you. I was there supporting you in a little compound in the corner, and because we were cheering, we were locked up after, that sort of stuff, you know, and we had torrid times." Looking back at it now, I suppose we were terribly naive as young men.
The rugby establishment sort of took this attitude that, rugby guys were terrific guys, whatever, and it was bigger than anything, and therefore it was wrong in any way to break ranks on that. I obviously took a different point of view and thought man's inhumanity to man, if you like, was a far bigger thing, and I'd said, I will go back to South Africa when Nelson Mandela invites me back. And of course he was incarcerated in Robben Island. Eventually it happened, which was wonderful.